Bad credit didn't cost me $87,000. It cost me $140,000. The debt was $87,000. But when I calculated what bad credit actually costs, the interest rate's 3 times higher than everyone else. The 4 months of rent up front, because no landlord would take a chance on me. The jobs I didn't get. The car loan at 24% instead of 6%. The real number was $140,000. And I had a 380 credit score, a drug conviction on my record, and I hadn't had a driver's license in 16 years. Here's what I found out. The system is designed to look like it keeps you out forever. It's not. There are rules, legal rules, that most people in my situation never learn. When I learned them, I went from 380 to 723 in 14 months. Today, I'll show you exactly what I did. Every step. Nothing I'm selling. Just the roadmap I wish someone had handed me. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I didn't end up $87,000 in debt because of bad luck. I ended up there because of bad decisions. Mine. It started with pills in my early 20s. What began as weekend use turned into daily dependence faster than I thought possible. And when you're using, money becomes invisible. You don't budget. You don't plan. You survive until the next paycheck, and then that paycheck vanishes before you even understand where it went. Within 2 years, I had maxed out 3 credit cards, took out a personal loan to cover the minimums on those cards, which is the financial equivalent of putting out a fire with gasoline. Then came the collections calls. Then the calls stopped entirely, because the accounts had been sold off to third-party collectors who just silently destroyed my credit in the background. And then came the arrest. Drug possession. Misdemeanor. But it doesn't matter what the charge says on paper. What matters is what it does to your life. I lost my license. I lost my job because I couldn't drive to work. I lost my apartment 3 months later because I couldn't pay rent without a job. And I lost every relationship that mattered because nobody wants to watch someone self-destruct in slow motion. At my lowest point, I was living on a friend's couch with a garbage bag of clothes, $87,000 in debt, a credit score of 380, and absolutely no plan. But here's what nobody tells you about rock bottom, and I mean this. The one advantage of being at zero is that every single move you make is forward. Before I show you the recovery plan, I need you to understand something. Because most people think bad credit just means you can't get a credit card. That's not even close. Bad credit is a tax on your entire life. And I'm going to show you exactly how much it costs. Let's start with housing. When my score was 380, no landlord in America would rent to me. I was rejected 14 times. 14. When I finally found a place, a landlord willing to take a chance, I had to pay first month, last month, and a double security deposit. That's 4 months of rent up front just to get through the door. Cost me an extra $2,800 that I had to borrow from family. Car insurance. Without a license, I couldn't drive, obviously. But even when I got it back, my insurance rate was almost triple what someone with clean history pays. We're talking $280 a month instead of $95. That's an extra $2,200 a year for the exact same coverage on the exact same car. Now here's the one that really stings. Interest rates. When you have a 380 credit score and you need a car, and you will need a car, you're not getting 5% financing. You're getting 22%, maybe 25. I've seen 29. Let me put that in dollars. A $15,000 car at 5% interest over 5 years costs you about $17,000 total. That same car at 24% interest, you're paying $27,400. You just paid an extra $10,000 for the privilege of being broke. That's the poverty premium. Being poor literally costs more than being financially stable. And I haven't even mentioned the jobs I didn't get because of the background check. The apartments I didn't get. The relationships that fell apart because financial stress is the #1 cause of divorce in this country. When I sat down and added up everything my bad credit and bad decisions cost me over those years, the extra interest, the deposits, the missed opportunities, the penalties, it wasn't $87,000. It was over $140,000. That number made me sick, but it also made me angry enough to do something about it. The moment that changed everything wasn't dramatic. Wasn't some movie scene where I had an epiphany in the rain. It was a Tuesday afternoon. I was trying to rent a studio apartment. Nothing fancy, just 4 walls and a door. And the leasing agent pulled my credit report, looked at me and said, "I'm sorry, we can't approve you." And I remember sitting in my car afterwards. Well, my friend's car because I didn't have one. And I pulled up my credit report on my phone for the first time in years. I stared at that number, and I realized I had 2 choices. I could keep pretending this wasn't happening, or I could learn how this system actually works and fight my way back. I chose to fight. And over the next 14 months, I raised my score from 380 to 723. Here's exactly how I did it. 5 steps. Nothing complicated, nothing expensive, just consistent action over time. Step 1, I pulled my credit reports and built my debt map. Before you can fix anything, you need to see everything. I went to annualcreditreport.com, the only truly free one, by the way, not those fake free sites that charge you later. And I pulled all 3 reports. Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Then I made a spreadsheet, every single debt listed. The creditor name, the balance, whether he was in collections, the interest rate, and the status. When I was done, I had 23 lines on that spreadsheet. 23 individual debts. Seeing them all in one place for the first time was terrifying. But it was also the first time I felt any sense of control. You can't fight what you can't see. That spreadsheet became my battle plan. Step 2. I found errors and disputed them. Here's something that blew my mind. According to the Federal Trade Commission, 1 in 5 credit reports contains an error. 1 in 5. That means there's a solid chance your score is lower than it should be right now, because of a mistake that isn't even yours. I found 3 errors on my reports. One was a collection account that had been paid, but never updated. Another was a debt listed twice under 2 different collector names. Same account, double damage. The third was an account that wasn't even mine. Wrong person, same name. I filed disputes directly with the credit bureaus, online and by certified mail. Within 45 days, all 3 were removed. My score jumped 47 points just from fixing errors. 47 points for free, without paying a single dollar. Step 3. I attacked collections strategically. Now, this is where most people mess up, and I almost did too. Your instinct when you see a collection on your report is to just pay it and make it go away. Do not do that, at least not without a plan. Here's why. Paying a collection without getting an agreement in writing that they'll delete it from your report means you just spent money and got nothing for your credit score. The collection still sits there. It just says paid instead of unpaid. Your score barely moves. What you want is called a pay for delete agreement. You call the collection agency and you say, and I'm giving you the exact words here, "I'd like to settle this account. I can pay the balance in full if you agree to remove the trade line from all 3 credit bureaus upon payment. Can you send me that agreement in writing?" Some will say no. Move to the next one. But a surprising number of them will say yes, because they'd rather get paid something than chase you for years. I got 3 out of my 7 collections removed this way. Each one bumped my score between 15 and 30 points. If you want the exact dispute letter, templates, and pay for delete scripts I used, I put a link in the description. Same letters that got 3 collections wiped from my report. Step 4. I built new positive credit history. You can't just remove the bad stuff. You also need to add good stuff. And the fastest way to do that when you have terrible credit is a secured credit card. A secured card works like this. You put down a deposit, usually $200 to $500, and that becomes your credit limit. You use the card for small purchases, gas, groceries, a subscription. You pay the full balance every single month before the due date, and every on-time payment gets reported to the bureaus and starts building positive history. I got a secured card with a $300 limit. I put my phone bill on it, $45 a month, and set up auto pay so I never missed a payment. That's it. Nothing fancy. Just $45 a month, paid in full, reported every 30 days. After 6 months, my score had climbed another 60 points just from consistent on-time payments. After 12 months, the card company upgraded me to an unsecured card and refunded my deposit. Step 5. I chose a debt payoff strategy and stuck with it. There are 2 main approaches: the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. Snowball means you pay off the smallest balance first for quick wins. Avalanche means you pay off the highest interest rate first to save the most money mathematically. I went with the snowball. Here's why. At $87,000 in debt, I needed to feel like I was making progress. I needed wins. My smallest debt was a $340 medical collection. I paid that off in my first month. Gone. Crossed off the spreadsheet. That feeling of crossing something off, that's what kept me going through the next 13 months. Every month, I took whatever extra money I had, sometimes $200, sometimes $50, sometimes $500 when I picked up overtime, and I threw it at the next smallest balance. One by one, the lines on my spreadsheet disappeared. It took 14 months to go from 380 to 723. It took another 8 months after that to get most of the debt under control. It wasn't fast, it wasn't glamorous, but it worked. Let me show you where I was and where I am now. Before, 380 credit score, $87,000 in debt, 23 accounts in collections or delinquent, couldn't rent an apartment, couldn't get a car loan, couldn't get a basic credit card, No license, no options. After 723 credit score. Debt reduced by over 70%. 0 collections on my report. Approved for an apartment on the first try. Qualified for a car loan at 6.9% instead of 24%. Got my license back. And for the first time in years, I can actually plan for the future instead of just surviving the present. And I want to be honest with you, I'm not done. I still have work to do. I'm not standing here telling you I'm a millionaire. I'm telling you, I went from completely destroyed to functional, stable, and moving forward. And that might not sound sexy, but if you're where I was, you know that's everything. If I can do this, with a criminal record, no license, and a decade of addiction behind me, you can do this. That's the plan. All 5 steps. No secrets, no gatekeeping. Now, if you want to go deeper on any of these steps, I'm building out this entire channel around each one. Next week, I'm dropping a full walkthrough on dispute letters, how to write them, when to send them, and the exact templates that got results for me. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. And if you want the dispute letter templates, the pay for delete scripts, and the debt tracking spreadsheet I used, everything is linked in the description below. This channel is for people who've been knocked down by life, addiction, divorce, bad decisions, bad luck, whatever it was, and are ready to fight their way back. That's what Back from Zero is about. That's why I'm here. Your past doesn't own your future. I'll see you in the next one.